My name's Vivian Burden. This is my father, David Burden. Dad was on the Russian Convoys and recently received a medal from the Russian ambassador. Unfortunately, Dad has recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and we found we had trouble trying to get about, with Dad not being able to walk very well. Dad walks with a stick generally, but we found when we were going out, when I was taking Dad out the weekends, I always had to borrow a wheelchair from somewhere, and we were always restricted as to where we would go. Normally it would be shopping centres or nurseries, whereas you could borrow a chair, but generally they were quite difficult to push. So my sister was over from America, and she looked on the computer and found details and got in touch, and we were lucky enough to have a donation of £150 that we could buy our own wheelchair, which has really made a lot of difference to taking Mum and Dad out. It's nice to be able to fold the chair, put it in the car and go anywhere we like. Dad, how old were you here when you joined the Navy?
I was only 17.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah, well, you work at all these fellas, they think I'm young, but I was the youngest one on the ship. They were all near enough my age. I was a signalman, and there was another 2 signalmen and a petty officer and myself. There was 4 of us in our group. When it was action stations, there was anything floating right near, you know, and away you went up, and you passed a place called Bear Island. That was when we got attacked by the torpedo, by the submarines, and also by there was one incident where the Sharnoff was floating about, and of course all hands was a bit worried then. At 37, I wasn't interested much in medals or in that my life was at stake. It may sound a bit dramatic, but it was, because there was Navy ships being sunk, torpedoed, and so everyone you didn't know, they wondered if you were going to wake up the next day. But being a youngster, it didn't sort of worry me. Not till afterwards, and I grew up and I realised, oh, I've done that. And but I was nothing of an hero. I was just doing my job, which was a signalman for the Royal Navy.